Hello there. If you have a Scrum Master interview coming up shortly, then this is the video for you. This is the 6th chapter in the Scrum Master interview question video series. In this video, we will cover the top 10 questions related to Scrum applications. Subscribe and click the bell icon so that you would be notified when new videos in this series get released. Okay, let's get started. We already have 5 chapters in this video series. If you have not gone through them yet, you can use the links in the description box to check them out. Let's begin with Chapter 6, Situational Questions. Question number 41. How would you handle a situation where a team member is not fulfilling his or her responsibility according to the Scrum framework? If a team member is not fulfilling his or her responsibility according to the Scrum framework, the following steps can be taken to handle the situation. Identify the issue. The Scrum Master or team leader should first identify the specific issue and discuss it with the team member. It is important to be specific and provide examples of the behavior that is not aligned with the Scrum framework. Discuss the impact. The Scrum Master or team leader should discuss the impact of the team member's behavior on the project and the team. The focus should be on the negative impact rather than blaming the team member. Provide support. The Scrum Master or team leader should provide support to the team member to help them improve their behavior. This could include providing training, mentoring, or coaching. Set expectations. The Scrum Master or team leader should set clear expectations for the team member and provide a plan of action for improvement. Monitor progress. The Scrum Master or team leader should monitor the team member's progress and provide feedback on their behavior. It is important to recognize and acknowledge any improvements or provide ongoing support. Take actions if necessary. If the team member continues to behave in a way that is not aligned with the Scrum framework and it is impacting the project and the team, the Scrum Master or team leader may need to take more formal action such as involving HR or removing the team member from the project. However, this should only be done as the last resort after all the options have been exhausted. Overall, it is important to address the issue in a timely and respectful manner and to focus on supporting the team member to improve rather than punishing or blaming them. Question number 42. What steps would you take if the team is consistently missing their sprint goals? If a team is consistently missing their sprint goals, there are several steps that can be taken to address the issue and improve performance. Review the sprint goals and scope. It is important to review the sprint goals and scope to ensure that they are realistic and achievable given the team's capacity and resources. Conduct a retrospective. Conduct a retrospective with the team to identify the root cause of the missed sprint goals. This can help to identify process inefficiencies, communication issues, or other factors that may be impacting the team's ability to complete work on time. Adjust the sprint planning process. If the team is consistently missing sprint goals, it may be necessary to adjust the sprint planning process. This can involve more detailed planning, increased collaboration between team members, or changes to the prioritization of work items. Provide additional support. If team members are struggling to complete their work, it may be necessary to provide additional support. This can include training, coaching, or additional resources to help team members complete their work. Set realistic expectations. It is important to set realistic expectations for the team's performance based on their capacity and available resources. This can help to reduce the pressure on the team and prevent burnout or frustration. Monitor progress. It is important to monitor the team's progress during each sprint and take actions to address any issues as they arise. This can help to prevent the team from falling behind schedule and ensure that they are able to complete their work on time. Overall, addressing missed sprint goals requires a proactive and collaborative approach with a focus on continuous improvement and willingness to adjust processes and practices as needed. Question number 43. How would you handle a situation where team members are not providing honest and transparent feedback during retrospectives? In Scrum, the retrospective is a key ceremony where the team reflects on their performance during the previous sprint and identifies opportunities for improvement. Honest and transparent feedback is critical for the success of the ceremony and the team's continuous improvement. If team members are not providing honest and transparent feedback during retrospectives, the Scrum Master can take the following steps. Set the tone. At the start of the retrospective, the Scrum Master can set the tone and emphasize the importance of honest and transparent feedback. They can encourage the team to speak up and share their thoughts and feelings openly. Create a safe environment. The Scrum Master can create a safe environment where team members feel comfortable sharing their feedback. They can establish ground rules such as no personal attacks and confidentiality to ensure that the discussion remains respectful and constructive. Use anonymous feedback. The Scrum Master can use anonymous feedback techniques such as feedback box or an online survey to allow team members to provide feedback without fear of retribution. Follow up with individuals. If the Scrum Master suspects that individuals are not providing honest feedback, they can follow up with them after retrospective. The Scrum Master can ask if there are any concerns or issues that they didn't feel comfortable sharing in the retrospective and try to address them one-on-one. Continuously improve. The Scrum Master can use the feedback from the retrospective to continuously improve the retrospective process. They can ask the team for suggestions on how to make the process more effective and engaging. Overall, it is essential to foster a culture of trust and openness within the team. The Scrum Master can lead by example and demonstrate the value of honest and transparent feedback by being open to receiving feedback themselves. Question number 44. What actions would you take if the team is facing communication challenges due to cultural or language differences? If a team is facing communication challenges due to cultural or language differences, as a Scrum Master, I would take the following actions. Acknowledge the issue. I would acknowledge that the team is facing communication challenges due to cultural or language differences. It is essential to acknowledge the problem to find a solution to it. Foster an inclusive environment. I would work towards creating a safe and inclusive environment that promotes open communication. This environment will help the team members feel comfortable and confident enough to express their ideas and concerns. Encourage team building activities. I would encourage team building activities to help the team members understand and appreciate each other's cultural differences. This will help break down cultural barriers and promote a positive team environment. Establish clear communication channels. I would establish clear communication channels that cater to the language and cultural differences of the team members. This could include the use of interpreters or translation services. Provide training. I would provide training to the team members to help them improve their language and communication skills. This could include language classes or cultural training to help the team members understand each other. Use visual aids. I would use visual aids such as diagrams and flowcharts to help explain complex ideas. Visual aids are effective in helping the team members understand and retain information. Schedule regular check-ins. I would schedule regular check-ins with the team members to ensure that everyone is on the same page and that communication channels are working effectively. By taking these actions, I would work towards improving communication within the team and help them overcome any cultural or language barriers they may be facing. Question number 45. Tell us about a time you had an issue with a stakeholder and what you did to resolve it. Let's say that a stakeholder had concerns about the progress of a project and felt that team was not delivering the expected results. As a Scrum Master, I would arrange a meeting with the stakeholder to discuss their concerns and listen to their feedback. During the meeting, I would encourage open communication and work to understand the stakeholder's perspective as well as any underlying issues that might be impacting their perception of the project. After hearing the stakeholder concerns, I would work with the team to identify any areas where we could improve and create a plan of action to address the stakeholders' feedback. This might involve revisiting project goals, reassessing the timeline, or adjusting the scope of the project. Once we have a plan in place, I would provide regular updates to the stakeholder, keeping them informed about our progress and addressing any concerns as they arise. By keeping the stakeholder informed and involved in the project, we can work together to ensure that the project is successful and meets the needs of all stakeholders. Question number 46. How would you deal with discord or conflict in the Scrum team? Dealing with discord or conflict in a Scrum team requires a delicate approach as it can disrupt the progress of the project and can lead to further problems. Here are some steps that a Scrum Master could take to address discord or conflict within the team. Encourage open communication. Encourage team members to express their concerns and disagreements openly while ensuring that all communication is respectful and constructive. Identify the source of conflict. Identify the root cause of the conflict, whether it be the differences in opinion, unclear roles or responsibilities, or personal issues. Facilitate conflict resolution. As a Scrum Master, you can facilitate conflict resolution by encouraging team members to identify possible solutions, facilitating discussions and negotiations, and helping the team reach a consensus. Reinforce Scrum values. Remind the team members of the Scrum team values of respect, openness, and courage, and encourage them to embrace these values in their interactions with one another. Seek outside help if necessary. If the conflict is particularly intense or intractable, you may need to seek the help of an external mediator or coach. In the case study provided, the Scrum Master dealt with the communication challenges posed by a distributed team by establishing clear communication channels and practices. This helped to avoid potential conflicts that could arise from miscommunication and misunderstandings due to cultural differences or time zone challenges. However, if conflicts did arise, the Scrum Master could have followed the steps above to help the team resolve them in a constructive and respectful manner. Question number 47. Give us some examples of impediments and how you have handled them. Impediments are obstacles or issues that prevent the Scrum team from achieving its goals. Here are a few examples of impediments that can occur in a Scrum project and how they can be handled. Lack of communication. If team members are not communicating effectively, this can lead to misunderstandings and delays. To address this, the Scrum Master can set up regular meetings and encourage the team members to communicate openly and honestly. Technical issues. If the team is facing technical issues that are slowing down the project, the Scrum Master can work with the team to identify and resolve these issues. This might involve bringing in additional resources or changing the project plan. Lack of resources. If the team does not have the resources it needs to complete the project, this can be a major impediment. The Scrum Master can work with the stakeholders to secure the necessary resources or adjust the project plan as needed. Scope creep. If the project scope is expanding beyond what was originally planned, this can create delays and confusion. The Scrum Master can work with the product owner to ensure that the project stays on track and that the team is able to deliver value incrementally. Conflicts within the team. If team members are not getting along or are experiencing conflicts, this can be a major impediment to the progress. The Scrum Master can work with the team to identify the source of the conflict and help them to resolve their differences. In general, the Scrum Master plays an important role in identifying and addressing impediments as they arise. They work closely with the team to identify issues, prioritize them, and develop a plan for resolving them in a timely and effective manner. Question number 48. You are in the middle of a sprint and suddenly the product owner comes with a new requirement. What will you do? If the product owner comes with a new requirement in the middle of a sprint, the first thing to do is to understand the nature and the impact of the new requirement. As a Scrum Master, I would facilitate a meeting with the product owner, development team, and any other relevant stakeholders to discuss the new requirement and determine how it should be handled. Here are some steps that could be taken in this situation. Determine the priority. It is important to understand the priority of the new requirement in relation to the current sprint goal. If the requirement is critical, the team may need to adjust the sprint goal or add the new requirement to the backlog for the next sprint. Evaluate the impact. The team needs to evaluate the impact of the new requirement on the sprint backlog and on team's ability to meet the sprint goal. If the new requirement is too large or complex, it may not be feasible to complete it within the current sprint. Communicate with the stakeholders. The Scrum Master should communicate the impact of the new requirement to the stakeholders and discuss the options available. This may include extending the sprint, reprioritizing the backlog, or delaying the new requirement until the next sprint. Adjust the sprint backlog. If the team decides to add the new requirement to the sprint, they will need to adjust the sprint backlog and update the sprint plan accordingly. Re-estimate the effort. The team needs to re-estimate the effort required to complete the sprint backlog, taking into account the new requirement. Adapt the sprint plan. If necessary, the team may need to adapt the sprint plan and reprioritize the backlog to ensure that the sprint goal can be achieved. In all cases, it is important to ensure that the team remains focused on the sprint goal and that any changes are communicated and agreed upon by all the stakeholders. Question number 49. What is timeboxing in Scrum and how do you enforce it effectively? Timeboxing in Scrum refers to the practice of limiting the amount of time a team spends on a specific task, activities, or meetings. This practice ensures that the team remains focused on delivering the highest value work items within a fixed period of time, which helps to keep the project on track and avoid unnecessary delays. To enforce timeboxing effectively, the Scrum Master should ensure that the team is aware of the time box duration for each activity or meeting and that they are committed to completing the tasks within the allocated time. The Scrum Master can use a variety of techniques to enforce timeboxing, such as setting a visible timer or countdown clock, reminding the team of the time remaining at regular intervals, and facilitating discussions to ensure that discussions do not exceed the time box duration. The Scrum Master can also work with the team to ensure that time-boxed activities are scheduled at regular intervals and that they are given appropriate amount of time for completion. In addition, the Scrum Master should encourage the team to focus on delivering the highest priority items within the time box duration and to adjust their approach or priorities if they are at risk of exceeding the time box. In summary, effective enforcement of time boxing in Scrum involves clear communication, active facilitation, and a commitment from entire team to work within the set time frames. Question number 50. Why should we hire you as our Scrum Master? As a potential Scrum Master, I can bring a wealth of knowledge and experience to your organization. Here are a few reasons why I believe I would be a great fit for the role. I have extensive experience with the Scrum framework. I have worked with Scrum for several years and have a deep understanding of the principles and values that guide the framework. I have experience as a Scrum Master and have successfully facilitated many sprints and retrospectives. I am an excellent communicator. As a Scrum Master, it is critical to be able to communicate effectively with the team members, stakeholders, and customers. I have excellent written and verbal communication skills, and I am comfortable working with people from different backgrounds and cultures. I am a problem solver. Scrum Masters are often tasked with identifying and solving problems that arise during sprints. I have a natural ability to think critically and creatively, and I am comfortable working in a fast-paced environment. I am a team player. As a Scrum Master, it is essential to be a team player and work collaboratively with other members of the Scrum team. I am comfortable working in a team setting, and I am always willing to go above and beyond to support my colleagues. I am committed to continuous improvement. Continuous improvement is a key tenet of the Scrum framework, and I am committed to help teams improve their processes and deliver better products. I am always looking for ways to improve my own skills and knowledge, and I am passionate about sharing my knowledge with others. Overall, I believe that I would be an excellent Scrum Master for your organization. I have the experience, skills, and passion to help your team achieve its goals and deliver high-quality products.